So you want to get better at Rainbow Six Siege, huh? If you apply the tips that I share with you in this video to your playstyle in Rainbow Six Siege, I guarantee you will already be ahead of 99% of players. Alright, let's go. First tip is to get the right settings. I know this may seem like a gimme, but you'd be surprised at how many players think they have the most optimal settings, yet they haven't even discovered some things that should be toggled on or off in the menu. And I'll go over a few absolutely key ones right now. First, you want to make sure you have drone after prep set to manual so that you can continue droning even when the action phase starts. You want to turn your teammate gamer tags off so that you can actually see the peak you're holding and not scrotum pincher taking up your whole screen. Also, make sure you are using night mode on your dynamic range. It's generally the most optimal audio setting for first-person shooter games overall. And then also make sure your FOV is turned all the way up to at least 80, but do 90 if you can, because you're putting yourself at a disadvantage if you have anything less. And then the last setting that I'll go over in this tip is to make sure you're using either red, green, or purple optic colors and turn the opacity up as high as you can manage, whatever really works for you. These colors just tend to work the best with most Siege maps and the environments you'll encounter, and they'll be the most beneficial to you in winning gunfights. Now, speaking of winning gunfights, that transitions us into our next tip, which is to absolutely abuse the shooting range. What I'll do with the shooting range is just start on the normal bullseye target with guns that are easy to control recoil wise. So, I'll load in, choose Doc or something like that, and spend anywhere between 3 to 5 minutes just unloading rounds from 10 meters and 20 meters away. Then I'll go do the same for the dummy, and when I'm feeling somewhat warmed up, I'll go into this beautiful third room. This room of the shooting range is the difference between you being copper and you being champion. That might be a bit of an exaggeration, but it's honestly the biggest game changer ever. These are my settings that I use when using this part of the range. Go ahead, pause the video, make sure you have the same one set up because you will see a visible difference immediately in game. I use the small red balloons just because, the smaller you aim, the smaller you tend to miss, so it overall trains you for headshots and it also gets you to be flicking really fast. When I thought my aim was just god awful and I couldn't figure out how to fix it, I actually realized that it was more of my crosshair placement affecting my aim rather than anything else, so this exercise in the shooting range will get you up to speed super fast. And then I'll just keep repeating these shooting range steps from the bullseye to the dummy to the balloons with more and more difficult to control guns each time until I'm using the F2 or Scorpion Evo and I'm basically ready to have an aneurysm by the end. That's how you know you're ready to get into ranked. Alright, so now we have our settings in order, we're all warmed up, and we are in game. The next tip is to play weird. And what I mean by this is to play how the enemy won't expect you to the extreme level. And this applies to a multitude of different aspects in the game. This could be in gunfights, or how you set up the objective, or even, just where you put your pre-placed drones during the preparation phase. One of my favorite common examples of this is if you're playing, Ash or someone like that and you're in a gunfight with a defender, you could shoot your breaching round on the opposite side of a room to make the defender think you're coming from that side, and then you can push him from where he isn't expecting it. It's like little things like that that will force your opponents to think, and then you can take advantage of their weakness when they are too busy thinking about what your next move is. Another way to play weird, which I briefly mentioned, is to set up objectives differently. It's so often that everyone sets up an objective the exact same standard way time after time and round after round. It's totally understandable if you're solo queuing, I get it, but if you have some people to play with, change up the objective. A good example of this is bringing a Mira and setting up camp from one objective, and then holding that side while placing all of your utility on the back side of the objective, and then when the attackers waste 45 seconds trying to push the Mira just to realize they can't, they're all gonna go and counter all the utility on the other side of the objective, and then it'll help you kill them and also force them to waste more time. So it's just like little things like that. It's kind of hard to explain, but basically just change up how you do certain things in the game to confuse your opponents, because people play this game out of muscle memory way too often, and you can easily take advantage of those players with this exact tip. This next tip is probably the most important tip of the whole video, or at least my personal favorite. Siege is as much a mental game as it is a mechanical or physical game. I find that the more confident that I am, the better I play overall. So if you're going into games and you're like, oh shit, these guys are playing against have really sweaty names, they must be better than me, then that's probably the case. But if you go into those games thinking you're the motherfucking GOAT and you're the greatest player that this game has ever seen, then I promise you will play a lot better. You can't be timid, you have to be confident, and another branch of this tip is that you have to have a short memory with this game. It's just like playing quarterback in football. This doesn't mean to just entirely forget about losing a gunfight or losing a round, because analyzing those losses will make you better, but you can't let it emotionally impact you, or else you're going to be overthinking everything you do and you'll carry it with you into the next round, and overall you'll just become timid and lose that confidence. And I know it's a lot easier said than done. It honestly takes a lot of reps and a lot of time played to actually apply this. But it's definitely the most important tip out of everything, because you could be the best Siege player in the world mechanically, but if you don't have the mindset of being the best Siege player in the world, then you just won't succeed. And really that goes for anything in life. Life lessons with D-Libs right here. Truly inspirational. Next tip is to watch competitive Siege content creators. And this may be a weird one to hear, but just trust me. In your free time, when you're not gouging your eyes out from playing Rainbow Six Siege, try gouging your eyes out by watching other people play Rainbow Six Siege. No, but seriously, all jokes aside, you will see a serious improvement in your gameplay if you're watching some of the best Siege players in the world on YouTube, Twitch, whatever. And if you're just starting out and you need some suggestions on who to watch, some of my favorites are Spoit, Bolo, and Macy J, just some of the best, and you can see how they think, how they react. I mean, it's really no different than studying before a test, except it's Siege, and you're able to see firsthand how some of the best players in the world react to certain things and play out specific situations in real time in real games. And then you can of course apply that to how you play, and eventually it'll start to come naturally. The next tip is to stop playing lazy. It's called the preparation phase, people, not the phone phase. Actually set up the objective or actually drone, and when you're in the round, don't just walk into the building without droning and then complain when you die to a roamer on the opposite side of the map. You wouldn't think it needs to be said, but there are so many people that have this exact problem. And these are just like little things, you know, that you can control, but they're so overlooked that they really are bringing your quality of gameplay way down, and you probably don't even know it. So stop playing lazy. One last tip to put you ahead of 99% of players, and that is to just stop maining operators and stop playing the game the exact same way every single round. Nobody likes a one-trick pony who only knows how to play Thermite on attack and Jaeger on defense, or only knows how to push VIP when they're attacking second floor on coastline. Little things like that. Like, you should learn how to play every operator, learn how to play every map in the game, and change up when and how you play them. I know it may sound weird, but Rainbow Six Siege really does reward players who branch out and change it up. Now, do I have any evidence to back this up? No, but I somehow always win rounds when I choose obscure operators like Sense, Blackbeard, or Thunderbird, or playing around a different way. So, you know, change it up, learn how to defend and attack different objectives in different ways with various operators, because at the end of the day, by doing this, you're just expanding your game sense at the very least, so over time, this will definitely benefit you. Thanks so much for watching, I hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to check out my other videos and consider joining the Discord link in the description as well if you guys want to join a gaming community that we're growing by the day. Besides that, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.